The most paralyzing fear you'll ever feel isn't something you've seen, it's something you haven't. In the next few minutes, you're going to understand something that's been quietly running your life. Why certain conversations terrify you, why you'd rather stay stuck in something bad than step into something uncertain, and we're going to use one of the most psychologically honest games ever made to prove it. When you first drop into Subnautica 2, it's beautiful. You're floating in water, you can see everything around you, and when you take one more stroke forward and the light disappears, nothing changes. No creatures, no jump scares, just water. Your heart rate spikes, right? Because your brain isn't afraid of what's there, it's afraid of what it can't rule out. There's a name for this. It's called the intolerance of uncertainty, and research has found it to be a strong predictor of anxiety more than anything else, including actual danger. Think about that. The imagined threat does more damage than a real one, because a real one has an edge. You know where it ends. The unknown? It's infinite. Here's what's happening in your brain. Your amygdala, the alarm system, doesn't only fire when it detects a threat, it fires when it can't determine whether something is safe. Ambiguity is treated as danger by default. It's not a flaw. For 100,000 years, assuming the worst in the dark kept you alive. The problem is, we don't live in the dark anymore. But our brains never got the update. Before a hard conversation, before you send the application, or before you even try something new, your brain runs worst case scenarios on loop. Not because it believes them, but because it would rather simulate every bad outcome than be surprised by one. It's exhausting, right? When Subnautica punishes you, and it will, your first instinct is to stop going deep, stay where it's mapped, stay where you know the threats. It's called avoidance. It feels like safety, but it isn't. Because every time you avoid the unknown, your brain logs it away and files it to the area of your brain where you avoid it because it's dangerous. That threat grows in your mind even though you never actually tested it. Avoidance doesn't shrink fear, it feeds it. The longer you don't go in the darker it gets. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The email you've been meaning to send for 3 weeks. The conversation you keep almost starting. The idea you're waiting to feel ready for. Ready doesn't come before you go. It comes because you went. There's a technique called exposure, and it's one of the only things that rewires this fear response. Not thinking your way out of it, not building a better case of why it'll be okay. Just going into the uncertainty and finding out what's actually there. And here's what Subnautica gets absolutely right that most games don't. The unknown rewards you. The beauty, the resources, the story, it's all down there. In the dark, past the fear. That's not an accident, it's the truth about life. Every meaningful thing you'll ever do sits on the other side of not knowing how it ends. The relationship, the project, the move, the conversation, all of it. The goal isn't to eliminate the fear, the goal is to stop letting it make your decisions. When you walk into the conversation, send the message, take the leap, the fear doesn't disappear, but it shrinks every single time. Your brain updates its model. It learns we went into the dark and made it, and the next time the dark is a little smaller. You already know which thing in life this is about, the one thing that's been sitting there, the one keeping you up, the one you keep almost doing. I'm not telling you it'd go away. I genuinely don't know, neither do you, and that's the whole point. But yeah, that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.